What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So the question today is, can you get active noise canceling true wireless earbuds for 50 bucks? And is it worth it? So we're gonna answer that question. These are the Aukey active noise canceling true wireless earbuds. We're gonna put these up against the Jlab Ear Executives true wireless earbuds, and we're gonna talk about which one's better. They're both priced competitively, with the Aukeys at $59, Jlab's at $69, although you can find coupons and offers on both quite often. I actually picked these up for $50, the Aukeys. So the question is, which one is better? So let's talk about it. So real quick before I get started, my name is Chris Taft. I look at phone cases, I look at technology. My goal is to help you make a buying decision. So even though we might talk about specs, really the focus here is what are the 1, 2, or 3 things you need to know about a piece of technology that might help influence your decision. Why would you want to buy something? Why would you not want to buy something? If that's something you think would be helpful, just do me a favor, give me a quick subscribe as we jump into this video. So to get us started, let's go through the specs on each of these. Both offer a great battery life, with the Aukey slightly beating out Jlab by offering 7 hours of battery life in each earbud and a total of 35 hours of playtime including the case. That's the Aukey active noise canceling earbuds. Jlab offers 6 hours of battery life in each earbud for a total of 30 hours with the recharging case included. Aukey offers USB Type-C quick charging to fully charge the case in 2 hours. So it comes with a USB-C cable, kind of a pretty short cable that is USB-C, and so it plugs into the charging case. Obviously, if you have other USB-C cables, then there's one less cable you need to carry around. The Jlab comes with an integrated cable that makes charging convenient. You don't have to carry a separate cable with the Jlab Ear Executive. So it comes right on the case, just flip it out, and you're good to go. Plug it into a USB slot and it'll start charging for you. Both offer dual microphones, with each earbud having 2 microphones, one to eliminate surrounding noise while the other picks up your voice. And that's on both of these. So you'll notice that on each of these earbuds, there's actually 2 little microphone holes, one kind of at the bottom of the stem and one at the top of the stem. Both offer the same level of protection against water, with Aukey being IPX5 and Jlab being IP55. Essentially, what that means is they should be protected against low pressure water jets from any direction. So if you're out in the rain or you're sweating or something like that, you should be okay. They're not protected by immersion. So you can't immerse these in water. You can't go swimming with them in the water. And they're both at the same level. They're both at that 5 level. So let's get to some key differences. You're getting 10mm drivers with the Aukey earbuds, 8mm drivers with the Jlab earbuds. That should translate into the Aukey earbuds sounding better. It's just bigger drivers. It's gonna drive bigger sound. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later though. We're gonna talk about sound. Sounds very subjective, but I have some opinions between these 2 earbuds that I wanna share with you. The Jlabs come with 3 different EQ settings: Jlab Signature, Balanced, and Bass Boost. You can change those through the touch controls. I prefer, out of the 3 of them, I prefer the Jlab Signature setting. The Aukey earbuds come with only 1 EQ setting, no adjusting how they sound. Aukey offers active noise canceling. On the noise canceling, it works. It's not Bose level or Sony level noise canceling. It's not over the ear level noise canceling. It's not even AirPods Pro level of noise canceling. It's pretty minor. However, it primarily works with like air conditioners, or let's say you're riding in a car and you have consistent kind of road noise. It'll kind of dampen that down a little bit, and it does kind of give you more of a closed off feel when the active noise canceling is turned on as opposed to when it's turned off. But I don't want you to buy these thinking that these are like the best active noise canceling ever. They're not. It's $50, so don't expect that. But I can tell a difference. When I turn on the active noise canceling, I do feel a little bit more closed off than when it's off. And so there is something there that is actually working. It's not a gimmick. Jlabs offer an audio setting where they let ambient noise in from around you. So they call this Be Aware Audio. I've actually found this useful when let's say I'm at the kitchen sink doing dishes, listening to a podcast or an audio book. I do that quite a bit. And somebody comes up to me and needs something, maybe one of my kids. I've got a few kids. They come up, maybe they need a fork or a knife or something like that. Instead of having to take these out of my ear, pause the music, I can just turn on the ambient noise real quick, just tap it 3 times, and essentially it'll let in some noise and I can understand what they're saying to me. The one things I do like about the Jlabs, I'll throw out right here, is when you put these in your ear, they do have really good passive kind of noise buffering. So it really does give you a nice closed off sound when you put these in your ear. You're not getting a lot of extraneous outside noises. The Jlabs do not offer active noise canceling though. That's with the Aukeys. Jlab also provides a set of foam ear tips along with the silicone ear tips. They're the medium sized, but they fit great and are very comfortable. Once I put on the foam ear tips, I've never taken those ear tips off. With Aukey, you're getting silicone only, which is fine with me. It doesn't take away from the experience. It's just you're not getting, I like the foam tips of the Jlabs. They fit my ears really nicely. So those are the specs. Now we're gonna go through a few categories here, and I'm gonna let you know kind of what I think of these earbuds. All right guys, so if you've watched my previous review of the Jlabs, or if you've watched my previous review of the Anker Soundcore Liberty Air 2s, you know probably one of the #1 things for me when I'm considering earbuds is portability. I like to carry my earbuds around with me. So the big thing here is in case size, the Aukeys are winning, I mean, hands down. I mean, the Aukey case is much smaller than the Jlabs. The Jlabs is actually a pretty significantly large case for your earbuds. However, that's for a couple of reasons. One of those is because you do get an included, attached, integrated USB cable, which is super convenient because I don't have to carry a cable around to charge these up. But they're pretty large. Now, if you're somebody who is not looking for pocketability, you're gonna carry these in a bag or something like that, or maybe you're just gonna carry them in your hand into the gym and then set them down or something like that, then they're fine. I mean, I haven't had any issues with the case. The case is actually becoming less of a hang-up for me over time, but I will admit, when I'm traveling, I took a trip today. We took a car ride down to a store, and I actually grabbed, between the 3 of these, I actually grabbed my AirPods, because the AirPods case is the smallest of the 3 cases. So I'll put these up against the AirPods case as well, so you can kind of see what they look like. But the Aukeys are pretty close to AirPods. They're not too much bigger than the AirPods case, and they fit actually pretty good in your pocket. Jlabs a little bit larger than the Aukeys. Now, with that, keep in mind, on Aukey you have to carry an extra cable, so you don't have that integrated cable, which I'm fine with. I'm used to carrying cables around with me. I do like that it's USB-C, so if I have other USB, it matches other cables that I carry, so I'm not having to add to the different types of cables. I can kind of minimize the number of cables that I have to carry around, which is really nice. All right, so the next thing that's super important for everyone is fit and comfort. Now this also is really gonna be based on your physiology, based on the size of your ears and what feels comfortable. So here's where I'm at on both of these earbuds. The Jlab earbuds fit better for my ears. So I've got the medium-sized foam tips, and actually the Jlabs came with these little rubber, I guess maybe they're wings. They're not really wings, but they fit over the outside of the, oops, that came off, the ear tip. And I think it's supposed to give you extra comfort or extra grip in your ear, but it ended up being uncomfortable. It just felt like it was too big. And so after I've taken that off though, I can really lock the Jlab Air Executives in, and they just feel really comfortable. I get to where I don't notice them being in my ear. I do quite a bit of cycling, and I actually cycle with my with my Jlab Air Executive. So I did 10 miles this morning and they did just fine. Now, the Aukeys, they don't fit as well for me personally, but they're not bad. They're fine. I just feel like there's if you notice, there's kind of they're a little bit more bulbous in the section that goes in your ear. And I just don't get quite the fit in my ear. I mean, they go in just fine. It just feels a little bit loose. It feels like it could potentially, it's tight, it's not gonna fall out. It just doesn't lock in as well as the Jlabs, or to be honest with you, as well as the AirPods. So that's kind of fit and comfort, but that's me. So you might have a different story related to fit and comfort. It really kind of boils down to what fits well in your ears. And so I'm just letting you know, my experience is I can really lock the Jlabs in to my ears. The Aukeys, not so much. From a comfort standpoint, Jlabs win over the Aukeys. Case size, as I said before, just to go back over that, Aukey wins over the Jlabs. All right, next up, sound. So this is a big one. Obviously, again, sound is subjective. However, so as I mentioned before when I talked about specs, the Aukeys have 10 millimeter drivers compared to 8 millimeter drivers in the Jlabs. And here's what I hear. I feel like because of that, number one, I'll just say this already, the Aukey earbuds get much louder. These are super loud earbuds. When I connect these to my MacBook Pro, I have to almost turn it down to where it's like 1 or 2 bars on my MacBook Pro because it's almost too loud for my ears. So Aukeys get extremely loud. If you like to turn your earbuds up loud, the Aukeys are what you want. Now the Jlabs get just fine. They get loud enough, no problems there, but these are louder. The other thing I do feel like is, I feel like these are a little bit more brighter. There's plenty of bass, but you have really clear mids and highs. So the thing I would say is you hear all the different instruments, so the music is crisper, I would say, in the Aukey. So I do think the sound quality is a little bit better with the Aukeys over the Jlabs. Although they both sound great, no matter what you get between these two, you're gonna be happy with it. I actually have been using these a little bit more than these, mainly because of fit, and I've been just fine. I will say this, Jlabs have great bass. You're gonna get a lot of bass in these things. There's 3 different EQ settings. I like the Jlab signature setting because that actually increases the mids and the uppers. So you get a little bit more of a crisp sound out of it. The other 2 settings are kind of a flat setting and then a bass boost setting. So if you really want a lot of bass, you can put it on bass boost and really get a ton of bass coming through the Jlab. They both sound great. I mean, for $59 and $69 respectively, no complaints on the way they sound. It's just that the Aukeys, I do feel, sound a little bit more crisp than the Jlabs. The Jlabs are a little bit more bass heavy. And so you lose a little bit of the mids and a little bit of the uppers with the Jlabs. So that's kind of sound. I think you're not going to go wrong with purchasing either one of these. You're going to be just fine. So let's talk about microphone. Microphones work great for both. I was just actually driving in the car the other day. My mom gave me a call. I had the Aukeys in. I had the phone call with her. At the end of the call, I said, "How does my voice sound?" She says, "Great." I said, "I'm testing a new pair of earbuds." She said, "I couldn't even tell you weren't talking into your phone." So I'm gonna throw in an audio test right here.
Check, check, 1, 2. Hey guys, here is a test of the Aukey Active Noise Canceling True Wireless Earbud microphones.
And this is a test of the Jlab Executive True Wireless Earbuds, Air Executives, the microphone test. So this is what the Jlab sound like. All right, so what I want to talk about next is the uniques. Also, there's a couple quick things before I get into that. I get a lot of questions about these earbuds and some of the functionality. So a couple of things I've noticed. Number one is these do not have, what do I call that? Auto on and off. So if I take these out of my ear, and that's either one of these, the Aukeys nor the Jlab, if you take them out of your ear, they will not stop playing the music or the podcast or whatever you're listening to. So they don't have, auto off whenever you take them out of your ear. In terms of the controls, both have really good controls. My one complaint is the Aukey are too sensitive. As soon as I'm putting them in my ear or taking them out, as I'm touching the earbud, I mean, taps are going off and it's starting to play music and it's doing, you barely have to touch it, and you're actually, causing the touch control to trigger. So to me, the Aukeys are too sensitive. It's almost a nuisance, but it's something that I've gotten used to. You just kind of figure out how to use them and you know where not to touch, so that you kind of avoid those unintentional touches. All right, so the big question is, which one should you buy? For me, I go back and forth. So I've got some notes over here that I'm looking at, and I wrote in the notes, for me, it's the Aukey Active Noise Canceling True Wireless Earbuds. And I put for $10 less, they sound better, the case is much more easy to carry with me, and I don't really value the integrated USB cable that comes with the Jlab earbuds. And that's true. So those things are true. However, after using these for another week, so I wrote this about a week ago, I will say I like the fit of the Jlabs is kind of winning these over for me personally. So these just seem to lock into my ear better for some reason or another. And that would be the only reason that at this point I would say if my go-to true wireless earbuds between the two of these are the Jlab. However, you're not going to go wrong with either one. These are $59. I got them for 50 bucks. These are $69. You can probably find a deal on these as well. So not too expensive, but if you're looking for active noise canceling that actually does work, it's not a gimmick. For 50 bucks or 59 bucks, go get the Aukeys. If you want to try that out, go get the Aukeys. If you want something that is probably a little bit more suited for a business executive to travel, you're in the airport, you need an integrated USB so you can just plug it into the airport charging ports, go with the Jlab. You're not going to go wrong with either one of these. So, I've talked a lot about these earbuds. I hope this helps you in your purchase decision. I didn't go over everything. That's not my intent here. It's really just to kind of share with you my thoughts on both of these products. Again, if this was helpful to you, or if you like the content, give me a subscribe down below. Got another one coming out in another week. Leave me questions down in the comments. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. We'll dive in, get your questions answered, and help you make your purchase decision. So appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend. Talk to you later. Peace.